No one ever looks twice at the person cleaning after hours. That's why the moment the millionaire stopped walking, everything quietly changed. He had spent his life surrounded by ambition and noise, yet it was the silence of one girl wiping a glass table that caught him off guard. She moved with care, not rushing, not distracted, like the office somehow deserved respect even when no one was watching. She was small for the oversized uniform, hair tied back neatly, eyes focused on the work in front of her. When he spoke, she flinched slightly, then apologized out of instinct, as if existing in that space required permission. Apology hit him harder than any negotiation ever had. He asked her name. She answered politely, voice soft, careful. He asked how long she'd been working there. She said nights only. After school. That's when he really looked at her. She wasn't just young. She was exhausted in a way that didn't come from late nights out or poor choices. It came from responsibility. When he asked why she worked so late, she hesitated, eyes dropping to the floor, then explained she was helping at home. Her mother wasn't well. The job paid for medicine, rent, groceries. She said it like it was normal, like dreaming could wait. The CEO nodded, thanked her, and walked away. But the office felt different after that. Bigger, colder. The echo of her apology followed him into the elevator, into his car, into his quiet house. He couldn't stop thinking about how many people passed her every night without seeing her at all. And for the first time in years, success didn't feel impressive. It felt incomplete. The next night, he stayed late on purpose. He told himself it was work, but when the floor emptied and the lights dimmed, his attention drifted to the soft sound of footsteps and the steady rhythm of cleaning. She appeared again, moving between desks with the same quiet focus, as if every surface mattered. He watched from his office doorway, unnoticed, and felt a strange discomfort. It wasn't guilt exactly. It was recognition. Employees passed her without a glance. Someone left a coffee cup on a table she had just wiped. She picked it up, cleaned again, and kept going. Complaint. No eye roll. Just work. When he finally stepped out, she looked surprised but smiled, the kind of smile people use to make others comfortable. He asked if he was in the way. She shook her head quickly, saying she'd be done soon. He asked about school. Her eyes lit up before she could stop them. She talked about math, about how buildings stayed standing, about drawing lines that turned into rooms. Then she caught herself and laughed softly, embarrassed, like she'd revealed too much. She said it was silly. Dreams were for later. Right now, she needed to work. He asked how she managed everything. She explained her routine without drama. Classes during the day, cleaning at night, studying on the bus, helping her mother when she got home, sleep when she could. The way she said it made it sound temporary, even though nothing in her life was easy. He felt a tightness in his throat he hadn't felt in years. After she left the floor, he sat alone in the darkened office. He thought about how often people talked about potential, about talent, about opportunity, without ever looking down to see who was carrying the weight. He realized that talent without support fades quietly. And that night, for the first time in a long time, he didn't feel like a winner. He felt like someone who had been given a chance to do something that mattered. The meeting invitation terrified her. It came through her supervisor, short and formal, asking her to report to a conference room during her shift. Her first thought wasn't opportunity. It was fear. She replayed every moment in her head, every place she might have made a mistake. He arrived early, hands trembling, uniform still smelling faintly of cleaner. The CEO was already there. He didn't sit behind the table. He stood when she entered, smiled gently, and asked her to sit. That small gesture broke something open inside her. He spoke slowly, carefully, explaining that he had noticed her discipline, her commitment, her intelligence. Told her he had looked into her school record, her attendance, her grades. He said he believed in her future. She stared at him, confused, unsure where this was going. Then he said the words she never imagined hearing. The company would pay for her education. All of it. Tuition, books, transportation. Her mother's medical bills would be handled too, so she could breathe, so she could focus, so she could dream without guilt. She tried to respond, but no sound came out. Tears filled her eyes, and she covered her face, embarrassed. The CEO looked away, swallowing hard, his own eyes wet. He told her she didn't need to thank him. He told her she had earned it long before he ever noticed. He told her she mattered. When she left the room, the hallway felt bright, lighter. Like something heavy had finally been lifted. She wasn't invisible anymore. Not to him. Not to herself. The CEO stayed behind long after she was gone. He sat alone, staring at the city lights, letting the tears fall freely. Not from sadness, but from the realization that real success wasn't built in boardrooms or celebrated in headlines. Lived in moments like this. Quiet, human, permanent.